I wish the times we had when I first came here and the times I had with Adam Oates and Chaser and Twister, that's where I really wish the game would have stayed.
This is the St. Louis Blues of the 90s. The record-breaking team with the biggest names in the NHL.
We had the Babe Ruth of hockey on our team, and it was a hot ticket.
And now they're back in the house that Hully built to reflect on the playing days that were and to discuss the greatest moments in Blues history. This is Spotlight, Blues Roundtable.
Hello everybody and welcome inside Scott Trade Center. I'm Pat Paris. The 1990s is a decade Blues fans will not soon forget. Names like Brett Hull, Brendan Shanahan, Curtis Joseph. It was a dream team in the 90s, although they did fall short of ever winning a Stanley Cup. Now, recently they got together to honor Brett Hull and lived through some of those good times. And they sat down with our Darren Pang to talk about some of the great moments in St. Louis Blues hockey history.
This is a round table with Hully and his buddies right here, and this is the building that Hully built, actually, big guy. We got a whole bunch of pictures here, and it brings back a lot of memories. What do you think when you see that picture right there, Hully?
I see that. I see how good looking Rob Schick was in the background. You see that?
Does he have the mustache?
Oh yeah.
It's just a lot of fun to see the guys and be around the guys and joke. And it's the one thing when you leave the game you miss the most is being with the guys.
It really strikes a chord is after I left and went to Dallas, Eddie Belfour was our goalie when we won the Stanley Cup, and having that there.
Did you run into him?
No. Chelios pushed me into him.
I thought he was your buddy.
He is, but
well, there's a lot of alumni here, and it's a very comfortable atmosphere, and I'm glad we're all here together.
When that happened, that trade happened, and Gretz put on 99 here.
Really? Holy mackerel. I told him not to come. Can you imagine? I mean, I'm on the phone with him, and he goes, Ollie, I'm going to come to St. Louis. I go, don't do it. He goes, what do you mean? I go, Mike Keenan is the biggest idiot on earth. You do not want to come play here. I go, can you imagine? I go, you're the greatest player that ever played the game.
Yep.
And I want to play with you so bad. You're one of my best friends. Do not come here. He goes, no, he'll change. He ain't going to change. I think it's special for the fact that the St. Louis Blues did have Wayne Gretzky as a part of their organization, and he really did want to be a part of it, and the organization ran him away.
Pretty cool, Twister, playing with him?
It's amazing. Unreal. Kidding me?
For a guy like myself to actually play beside him the same line, you know, I can chalk that up as one of the finest moments. Only happened once, mind you, but still.
Chaser.
Yep.
Chaser, you designed that?
Not me, but
I think it was Ringling,
like Ronald McDonald on skates
and Bailey. Barnum and Bailey.
It was a special time for us. We had a really good core group of guys, and we were a pretty good team. You know, we weren't a great team because we didn't win a cup, but we were a really good team, and certainly there's a lot of great memories.
Hully, you talk about Gretz, and obviously the greatest playmaker ever. But what was it about you and Adam Oates? Right hand shot, his backhand pass. What was it about the way you guys just clicked? With that stick, he had that kind of a bad stick.
He had a great stick.
Okay.
Later in his career,
cut it off or something.
He is the most underrated player that ever played the game from 1900 to 2000 and almost 10 now. He is.
So he's a Hall of Famer in your mind, huh?
Absolutely.
Well, what made him a genius?
There's people that were born to be football coaches in the NFL, and how great they are. He was born to play hockey. He understood the game more than I ever dreamed of knowing the game. Adam and I were not done. If Adam would have stayed, I honestly, it sounds conceited, but I think I'd have 1,000 goals.
He's like a chess player that saw 8 moves ahead instead of 2 moves ahead. You know, if the whole ice rink saw like the next 2 moves, Oatsy saw the next 12.
With a 200-pound guy running at you while you're playing chess.
Oh no, I was starting open.
He was
I wasn't running.
200.
Not
200. 200. That was 210, but
we were playing in Minnesota.
Still record.
And
in junior high.
They had that French guy, and he tried to play tough. He's giving it to Oatsy, and he just gives me a wink at the face-off, and it was on the left dot in their zone, and he just pushes it through his leg. and I just go to the far post, and he throws one, and I wasn't even ready for it. It hit me in the stick, and I almost missed it. But it went in off the post and in, and he just looked at the kid and goes, see? See what happens?
Playing against him, you never thought that he was going to shoot, so you're always kind of anticipating something else.
Well, he wasn't allowed to for a long time.
He wasn't allowed to shoot?
No, not allowed to shoot.
With that shot?
With that shot, he had 48 goals?
Yeah.
So he must have got close to the net.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. Right. That's good.
Well, he must.
What are you trying to... Didn't score on you too much in practice, huh, Cujo?
Oh, he didn't have a hard shot at all. He'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Everyone scored on Cujo in practice because Cujo never tried in practice.
Coming up, the Blues greats continue their discussion about one of the top goaltenders in franchise history. Keep it here on Fox Sports Midwest.
Welcome back inside Scott Trade Center for Spotlight Blues Roundtable, as some of the biggest names in Blues history discuss their favorite moments of the 1990s. Right now, let's get back over to Darren Pang as the conversation continues about one of the greatest goaltenders to ever don a Blue Note.
Let's continue on with the scrap here, because the hair's not even out of place, Cujo. Did you get it right in there? Did anybody give you any tips? Twister, chaser, anything, or did you handle yourself pretty good?
I want to hear Cujo's response to this, because he didn't need any tips. He had both hands going.
Well, I wasn't the tough guy on the team, but Chaser had showed me a few things, and you're right, you started this fight, but that's usually what happened. You started it.
And
Twister would finish. No, Twister would. You'd start all the fights, Twister would finish them all, but...
well, me and you used to talk a lot, and you never scored.
So you say,
how do you know?
Well, I didn't really start it. I had a fight, and then Proby came over to drill me, and the linesman, I seen him coming, I said, hey, you gotta let go of my arm, because Proby's coming over here, and he looked over his shoulder, and Proby was like right there, so I took a swing at him before he hit me. That's how I see it. I don't think that...
So that made the two goalies fight.
Twister, you didn't get up there.
They actually had a guy in the penalty box, Jimmy Cummings in the penalty box already, so we had an extra guy out there.
King Kong, Cummings.
Shovelday he thought he was a great idea by Shovelday to come out of the net till Cujo got a hold of him, and then it was like a licking.
Rumor was Shovelday wasn't really a fitness guy, so...
That wasn't a rumor, by the way.
Him having to skate from one end of the ice to the other, Cujo already had to fight one.
This was, my first team, and it was exciting. We were in our 20s, and it was a great time to be a St. Louis Blue, and we enjoyed every minute of it, and just the stories that we were telling, it reminded me of how good we had it.
how good was it playing in front of Cujo and all the way that he played, the kind of energy he gave you guys?
Well, every time he made a save, I just started streaking up center ice because I knew he was going to drop the puck and do that backhand flipper out for a breakaway. That was how we killed penalties. We'd give the other team center ice. We'd give the other team a scoring chance. Cujo, you stopped the first three, and then, by the way, I'm open at center.
But Cujo would give rebounds on purpose. Like it was like that. He's just getting save percentage. Like I accused you of that in the room. I said,
50-60 shots.
We're getting shit. The defense is getting shit all over here for all the shots it gets. Quit giving the rebounds. He stopped like 4 in a row, and then we'd finally get it out of there.
Yeah, because I'm waiting at the blue line for the puck. Damn it!
Which blue line?
Outside our blue. I started training harder in the summer so I could beat Shanny to center.
What about when Cujo got traded and things didn't kind of go the way you guys had planned?
Well,
like what happens?
Like when you trade a guy?
No,
you're supposed to have someone like...
Someone to take over?
Yeah.
It was a disappointing
They
time.
overlooked that part.
Yes, that's right.
I think Keenan made changes sometimes, and he didn't look enough into more of the personality part of it and what it meant for guys to play here. Like he didn't get that. He didn't get how much it meant for guys. They were going to give you extra because they were here. He just didn't figure that out, and because of it, he moved guys that you could have had for a long time that were great players that really wanted to play here and really wanted to give you more because they were here, and he didn't get that.
It's really hard to keep a core group together, and would we have won a championship? Maybe, but I certainly think that as we were maturing as players and growing up a little bit and settling down, there was a greater chance for it to happen.
It was tough to be traded from here. It was the place I had started and played 6 years and really enjoyed it. So that was a tough time in my career.
Our team, I don't think, honest to God, I left, Shanahan left, Gretzky left, Stevens left. Our team never missed anyone like we missed Cujo.
quite.
He was an anchor in the room as well as on the ice, and I really believe that he was something that this organization lost, and we could never replace.
Coming up after the break, the discussion turns to the trades that forever changed the team when Spotlight Blues Roundtable returns.
We're back inside the house that Hully built for more roundtable discussion with the Blues of the 90s. Now, one topic that cannot be ignored, the trades that took place during the Mike Keenan era. Let's listen in as Darren Pang gets the guys' true feelings about having to leave St. Louis.
I just thought your guys, I'm new to St. Louis, and I can't believe the city that it is and how great this city is and how much people care about their sports, their passion, their history. You guys have got to have a lot of great memories and just little things that have gone on in this city.
Really, really little things?
Yeah, not quite.
This is the most underrated city in North America. It is a great place to be an athlete, great place to raise your kids, great place to play golf. Everything about it, the enthusiasm the sports fans in this city have.
That's why everybody comes back, huh?
Rivals, none.
They treat their athletes great. And in a respectful way too. Like always come over and say hello, and then leave. Right. Shake your hand, meet your kid, but always in a very respectful. Never in a mobbing kind of thing. It was a great place.
It was a jeans and t-shirt and Budweiser kind of crowd, and it was just kind of a neat feeling. It wasn't. Like I said, I just think the guys were really in touch with the fans. We saw a lot of them. There was a lot of face-to-face, and the guys came to play and loved playing there, and I think the fans loved the guys.
There was no better place to play hockey than the St. Louis Arena, and every night it was fantastic. Whether the roof was leaking, or whether we won or whether we lost, it was the people and the fans of St. Louis during that time were second to none.
Midwest people are so friendly and welcoming, and yeah, getting traded. And it's your first trade. Like when you get traded, it hurts. So, and to leave this group of guys, it was tough. Yeah, I didn't like it at all.
I said I'm not leaving. Did you? I'm not leaving. Well, you have to. You get traded. I said I don't care. I'm not leaving.
Who said so? Do you guys remember in the dressing room the game after Butchie got traded? Who was all in the trade with you to Quebec?
Bass and Richie. Ronnie.
So it was Bobby Bassett, Ronnie Sutter, Garth Butcher get traded for Steve Duchesne. And so Steve Duchesne's in our dressing room. We're about to go out and play Anaheim, and Bob Barry's our coach. And he walks in, and Bob just says nothing about Anaheim. He just says, "I just want you guys to know that I had nothing to do with this trade. I'm disgusted by it. I'm absolutely shocked that we traded the core guys away from our team. And I want you guys to know that, you know, I just didn't even want to get out of bed today when I heard about this." And then he walks out, and then someone in the dressing room says, "Steve Duchesne speaks English."
And he came in and he actually stopped.
By the way, Steve, welcome to the team.
He did. He stopped and said, "Hey, Steve, I'm glad you're on our team. You're a great player. I'm glad you're here, but the Bob Barry loved you guys. Bass and you and Ronnie Sutter. Those are people. Those are guys that
hard to play against.
Oh my God, that's what makes you win."
Any of the guys that were like guys that really cared, it was hardly like you seeing them leave. It was like, oh.
But that's a great part.
That's why I think I bawled like a baby when I got traded, because it was like
you know, to give up guys.
Keenan didn't know enough about me to know how much passion I had for the. I think you have to care about where you're at. You have to care about the city. You have to care about the team. You have to care about, you know, the people that are the fabric of what made it cool to be here. And if you care about that a lot, you know you're getting everything you can out of a player. And Keenan never understood that about this place. He never understood that about St. Louis. And he never understood that about me as a player. And maybe they needed an upgrade. I'm not going to question that on the ability.